D or something. Let me get a
Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American, Black, Negro, colored didn't come from a place 5,000 miles across the ocean in a slave ship. These were the people that were already here. Today, we're going to talk about games people play and why they play them. If you look at current events that are just going all over the world today, we have to ask the questions and be ready to deal with everything that's going on in the world. What are we doing? What is being shown that we're doing? And there are some things going on, not where you stand, not on your land, not outside nowhere. It's these images that are being placed in your head by whatever media. And since this is social media, whatever it being placed in your head, you have to deal with that. You got to make sense out of it because what your body is capable of doing is off the hook. What your body is capable of doing that you're not even conscious of. You don't even understand how your body breaks down the food and sends what to what. We have no knowledge of that, but you do it. Not Lisa, not Carrie, not Marcus, you. The being that is viewing all this, the being that is getting all this information. When that information is served to you and you ingest it, you become whatever that information was intended to do or whatever that information was for. It is now part of you. So, to set the example to show you what I'm talking about, uh, we're going to talk about some current events that are going on, all over the place. I mean, everybody's talking about it. But before we jump on that, I want to bring in my lovely hostess, as always, Miss Lisa Cypress from the Accomack Nation. Lisa, how you doing?
Hey, Caillou Calito. How you doing, Carrie? Thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm glad you were able to get together like this. Meet like this. Very good.
Well, thank you for joining me and taking your time to join me, and I really appreciate your joining us tonight. You always have a lot to offer us and for us to think about, or that a way we should be thinking. So I just want to thank you for being there.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much, as you well know.
So, Lisa, with these current events going, how
Mm.
should we, how, as this is all around in all forms of media, how should we be looking at this?
Well, let's see. We have some Negro current events, right? What would you be referring to? Now, I think our Negro headline news would include certain things like, um, let's see, like the Carly, was that the girl's name? Carly Russell, the abductees story. That's one headline.
Yes. Ugh. Yes.
Right. Well, let's see. We got there's something in the news with the Washington Post saying that immigrants should be counted as receiving reparations as well. I guess that would be headline news.
Yeah.
There's something about Biden better beware because the black man is not down for Biden. I guess that's headline news.
Wait a
Uh,
minute. Say that again.
Biden, there's some news headline saying Biden better beware because evidently in polls, according to the data, black men are not down for Biden at all. They are not vibing with him,
Okay.
which is whatever. What else we got in the news? We got the Essence Festival and NDRE feeling some kind of way about Megan Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe being too sexual, the sexual exploitation of the Negro female. And let's see, what else is there? Can you add to that?
Oh, these Jamie Foxx.
Oh yes, yes indeedy, yes indeedy. But he
Uh,
recovered right in time for his debut of his Netflix movie, though. That's so like yeah, like he can get on a boat and do everything. I mean, like that's really a miracle. I mean, we all need to like the Red Sea parting and he need to be up right up there with the uh top miracles ever written, because I don't understand how it's just like he is so good right in time for the Netflix movie to come out.
you know that
Hmm.
uh,
Hey,
it-
Copper Colored. Hey, Clamp, God, King, all that, whatever. Kayuk.
see that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of stuff that we don't need to be taking in. And it's like it's everywhere. I mean, I don't even watch it, and people are talking about it.
Mhm.
It's everywhere, and it doesn't. It means nothing.
Right,
It means nothing,
right.
and we just own it like it's the next best thing. I mean, Jamie Foxx doesn't even know who I am,
He
but
should.
no, 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 no,
He should.
because he,
It would
because
be much
he
better off if he did.
he plays a character, right?
Right.
And that's what we're giving characters, right? To
Hmm.
be like. We're giving characters in the Bible. And a lot of people go out and pretend to be those characters.
Hmm.
That's all these people are.
Right.
All of them.
Hmm.
None of them. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's one of these cats that's always, he, what do you call it? Idol worship. He worships these people.
Oh, does he really? He really loves the stars, the celebrities. Hmm.
He worships.
Hmm.
And I'm like, dude, these people they don't even know you. If they walk by you, they would walk by you like you're a pile of shit and they don't want to step in it.
Exactly. Walk over you, literally, literally.
Yeah. So and you know what this stuff is doing really is really, like the Ethne Festival. I didn't even know they had that anymore.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't
Mhm.
know. And it's like, when you see what's going on in the rest of the world and other countries and what other people are going through and what's in the Negro here
Mhm.
is really some cool shit. Serious.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's this whole other thing is that Everything is so controlled that why do you believe anything that they put in front of you? Are we to believe that Carly Russell story? Did this girl do all this? Is it even a real story? Did she really fake all this? Was a search done? Did all this happen as they say that it happened? If she really faked all this, how low has the Negro gone? Like, seriously, after Just Juicy, why would anybody want to fake anything or pretend anything and try to get the police involved after Juicy? Because that was weird too. Why did he even do all that? Coming all on, going to clubs, doing stand up, going in front of people, and just carrying on with this lie like the mega caps. They just wanted did they just want attention to the Negro, that the Negro should be so concerned with Trump that they're gonna make up a lie and say that a noose and people with mega caps were involved? What in the world? What was the purpose of all that? Was was that real?
To keep you in the state that you're in now.
It
To
just
make to
yeah,
make Carly, what's her name? Whatever her name is.
child.
That's what all this stuff is for. It's not for your benefit at all.
Hmm.
None of it.
I don't believe in Miss Russell, nor do I believe in Juicy. I don't believe any of those things. I don't believe in none of it. And I
Okay.
don't think we should, I think that we should make a decision because we decide to believe what we want to believe. Now, for some damn reason, I don't know, you might be one of them, Carrie, but niggas want to believe in cloning. And my personal opinion on that, which is everything is personal, right? But until white until YT is able to build a bionic penis that is able to have multiple orgasms and feel sensations that are outstanding beyond compare, I don't think they're gonna clone people. I think that would be the first thing that they're gonna do. First, they're gonna make sure that they can do that shit. Because that I don't believe that they're cloning people. I don't see, this is my opinion from being in healthcare, is that they're not that smart. That they don't have that kind of technology. They're not that advanced and they're not that damn smart. They're just not. They can make something look like you. They can make an AI look like you. They can make you virtually look like you. They can make masks that look like you. They can make you someone robotically look like you, but they cannot take your DNA and make a person. Definitely can't make one that's full grown. So how would that happen? How would that work? So people think that they make a Frankenstein's. I don't understand. Like, people don't even understand what cloning is. Cloning would mean that you're taking someone's DNA and growing it from your DNA, which means there'll be a baby Lisa, right? That's what real
No,
cloning is.
no, but it
That's
what
what
do
it,
they call it? They can make you, so you're a 40-year-old woman, and they can duplicate you to be 40 years old in a matter of minutes.
how can they do that? How is that possible? They don't even no. Even if they're making animals, they would have to grow the animal. It may be accelerated growth with growth hormones or whatever, but no, no, sir. No, 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 ma'am. No, nobody. That's not even happening. It's not happening even. It's not happening.
So are you saying that's a distraction? And if it and I
I
think it is.
don't understand why color folk like to believe a lot of magical things about these other people that they don't have. I mean, we give them credit for doing things they didn't even do. The shit that they take credit for. Most of the things that they take credit for, they stole from us. So why do I don't understand, like, in your magical thinking, that you think that they can do things that are beyond their capacity because they ain't that damn smart. I got news for you. They're just not that smart. I mean, I don't understand why the Negro like even believes it that they're that advanced. Why do you? What's the evidence? What supports that?
Not a goddamn thing.
Robotic surgery. Is that such a leap? No, it's and half the time they fuck you up. So I mean, that's the thing. I'm in healthcare. I'm saying, what the fuck are you thinking there's clones for? Because they're dumb as shit. When the robot
And
goes into you, the robot is like going in through a little hole and fucking your insides up. Half the time you end up more torn up and definitely hurting more than if somebody went old school way and just cut you open, opened it up, looked at it, fixed the thing, and closed you back. Yeah, you got a little tiny little button hole, but they beat you up like hell on the inside and they don't know what else they tore up. So this is the thing. Why do y'all believe that? Because for me, what I see, I'm not impressed. And I don't see that as being a viable thing to even believe in. So is it that people believe in these things because they don't know better? I'm not sure. But I was just on a comment on Facebook and they were like, the dumb people don't believe in cloning. What? No, honey. I have an actual rationale as to why I don't believe in cloning. Because I know before they would try to build a whole nother one of them, at first they're gonna try to make sure they can be bionic. They're gonna be able to be the best motherfuckers they can be, right? They would be real aren't before they're gonna be able to clone people. They're gonna make themselves the real bionic man, the real Iron Man, right? That's what they would do. Make it make sense to me. Am I crazy? Am I talking, am I not making sense?
yeah, you making sense.
Logical thing to me, knowing how they are. You know what I mean? Okay. Do you want to make two of you that are mediocre? You know what I mean? Or do
Right.
you want to make you a Superman? To me, the first thing you're going to do is make you a Superman. So until I see some daggone white tee Supermans going around, I ain't gonna believe not a doggone thing about what they can do. Not at all. No, sir. No,
So,
man. No, no.
so filling the masses' heads with these stories of cloning, all kind of dumb shit. Do you think that that makes the listener dumb?
It does. It's a barometer of our ignorance. It really is. And it also makes it also is a barometer on how much we admire them and how much we believe in them. I believe
Worship.
I worship. We they done clone him. He ain't even him. What? You really believe they that powerful? Do you understand how complicated you are as a being? You're dumb if you think that. They can't even fuck up the weather correctly. They made a tornado and tore down a Pfizer damn factory. They made these fucking clouds and told people that it was a damn fire that was burning all the way from there going Canada. Did anybody believe it? I don't think nobody believed it. But they
No.
kept telling that dumbass lie. So if they'll tell a dumbass lie all the way till there's clouds in damn Birmingham and clouds in Georgia that look crazy, and it's all cloudy up in the skies and for no reason, and they
Yeah.
still talking about fires from Canada for real.
Yeah,
When
man.
it's down in Florida, they still be calling it Canadian fires. That's ridiculous. But why do see they can't even tell a good lie? If you're really intelligent, then you would be able to make up a story that was good. Like you would be able to explain it in a way that even an intelligent person would be like, well, that makes sense. Something that has to do, I could tell you, but I'm not gonna give them no answers because they stupid. But I could tell you what would be a better lie. But the forest fires from Canada, that tells you they some dum dums. Like they can't even lie well. They can't
But
even tell a story well.
okay, you're right. But do you think,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, what, don't we have a responsibility to know what all the shit that they put out is bullshit? Don't we have some say so in this? You just can't say anything like that. That's why I don't watch the news. It's This shit is dumb.
Well,
And don't we have a responsibility to understand and recognize that?
remember the football player that died, and they brought out a whole new nigga to play him? That's not cloning. That's not cloning. The shape of the Negro's head, everything. I mean, his size, his hair texture, his brow, everything about him was damn different. Okay. That's not cloning. That's just we got somebody a stand-in.
Yeah. And that's what they've been playing in your movies for the past at least 100 years. Stand in. Everybody has a stunt double.
Everybody has a stunt double. And we got people that are professionals that can do voice, so sound just like me, sound just like you. And these plastic masks, these castings of people faces that are these face masks, these rubber masks or silicone masks are amazing. They're great. So I mean, you can mask somebody. They do beautiful makeup. They make cakes look like they're safes, and they look like cameras, and you know what I mean. Can you eat it? They got cakes that look like real items. You know, what I mean? Look like a diaper bag. Look like a damn. Every
Right.
day they can make cakes look like real items. So that's not cloning. That's art, right? That's art. That's that's not cloning though. It's great that
Eh,
we art is gone to the level where you can make things look like they're not. But movie art has that's all from movie art, right? That's all part of that industry where you can sculpt things to make them look real. You can make buildings look like they're the real actual Statue of Liberty or the real daggone, World Trade Center, real plane. That's movie.
Art.
That's art. Can we
And
agree
I
on
think we don't understand it.
we contribute to that. We contribute to the art of the world. That's what we bring into the picture. We the one who made that rise to the next level. So I mean, this is where we are. The level of art and artistry is at an all-time high. They're able to make news that is art, that is artificial.
So say that one more time.
They're able to make news that is art. It is artificial.
It's that simple, y'all. It's that simple.
That's all it is. That's all it is. So when we look at it, and Janelle Monae is now taking her titty out and doing all kind. The woman used to wear things buttoned all the way up the front and say that's her uniform, and her parents were, working class people, and they had a uniform that they wore, and this is my uniform, buttoned up with black buttons all, all up to her neck, big old white collars all, now she titty out, like what for real? Like even they're going Luke, what's his name? From the Two Live crew, Luke,
Hmm.
or whatever his name is, Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke was like, "What is she having, a midlife crisis?" He had to even make a comment about it. He was like, what's going on with Janelle?" But see, Janelle is gonna do whatever she got to do because, right, she's part of that matrix. she might just start doing any kind of stuff. Why? Because they are controlled. We are just seeing how controlled they are. They do what they're told. It's nothing more than that. They do what they're told to do, or they got to get gone or die, disappear or die, disappear or die. And some of them are lucky enough to just disappear. You know,
So that's what it is.
right, right.
That's all it is.
It's always been that. It's
You know
always
what? You know how they talk about all these guys are clones and into this sacrifice.
no, that's real.
I bet if we went back, because we don't do that, people who were making them black exploitation flicks and all that stuff, the
Right.
things that they were in and they had to do.
Hey, they
The
still
mu-
around. Yeah.
yeah, the musicians and everything.
Yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, they're still around. Look at Billie Holiday, Lady Holiday, right? Heroin in the newspapers for heroin. Lady Day was used to promote heroin use, right? She glamorized it. Anybody is beautiful and smooth and fly that's using heroin, the young kids looking up to her, that's what they wanted, right? Right?
Right,
You got all these fly musicians. You understand when they started, they were young and fly. We may know them as older or dead, but when they started, they were young and fly. And there was a generation of people that were being influenced to get with that. Just like the exploitation movies of the 70s, there was a generation of movies that would people that was like, pimping is good. They weren't even thinking about being a pimp. They might have been from the suburbs. Like, didn't you tell me about somebody you knew, Carrie? That
yeah.
tell me about. Go on, tell them about that. Because the people are influenced by the media, and
Brother
they
tells me, brother, and this is an African American. So consider the source and consider how we do. And this is what all this confusion that goes on in the media, what this is about. This brother goes, Carrie, you know how I came to LA? What brought me to LA? He was from Mississippi. Family had 1,000 acres with 1,000 head of cattle.
what? I can't even imagine, y'all.
1,000 acres
Mm.
with 1,000 head of cattle. You know what brought me to Los Angeles? I was like, no, the movie Car Wash. The movie Car Wash.
That
Anybody who's seen the movie Car Wash know that is one of the most jigabooish ass movies
is
ever.
yeah. But see, that's what they okay. They know us. They know us. And they infiltrate us, they study us, they watch us, they know us. And I'm going to get deep into this maybe in another later on this week if we get a chance to get together, maybe next weekend or whatever. Because I want to get give y'all a deep dive into the historical things that have happened to us and how we've been manipulated and how we've changed um, throughout time because they know this. See, for hundreds of years before they even propositioned or bought their little sorries behinds across the water to this country, they were just raking it. They were just running over people all over Europe, running them down. The common person, did not have a chance in Europe. They were slaves. Slaves. Everybody that pretty much, if you're a peasant, you were a slave in Europe. Let's the truth be told. That's why they sent so many Europeans over here, man, that so many of them died. When they first sent people, the first people they sent were white folks. That's why this reparations is a joke. Because for some reason, the Y and the T does not want us to talk about their slavery. I'm not worried about any kind of not black stuff in school. Just let's talk about slavery. Let's talk about slavery. Let's talk about white slavery. Because they don't want to talk about that. See, they don't want to talk about that. And neither does the Negro. Neither does the black supremacist. Why? Because they trying to act like reparations is all hinged on that. Nigga, no. If this hinged on that, we lose. Because we were all side by side, and they were slaves here before we were slaves here. And they were slaves in Europe before they even got here. And they were slaves in Africa before they even got here. Let's be for real. These white folk, these white tees were slaves in Africa. We got to get some real truth out here. Let's stop playing games with this. So these people are experts at studying folks, finding your weakness, giving you what you need to be distracted, to become unglued, finding out what your weakness, your addictions are, find out how to manipulate you, control you. They've been writing about this since the daggone 1600s and before. They've been doing this. And now they got media. And it's in our phones. We're controlled. Like it's our remote control. We watching this thing all the time, telling us how to feel. I feel sad because of Carly. I feel angry. You know what I mean? It's like it controls us.
Correct.
And we invited to do so. So I don't even know. I mean, so the black exploitation, that's just a rehash of all the stuff that they did with the whole drug scene, with the heroin that they did in the 30s and 40s. They did that. Been there, done that. Then they did it again with the heroin in the 70s. Then they did it again with crack in the 80s. Then they did it again. They try to do it again with the pills and the meth and reintroduce. Now they got this fentanyl. And I don't know what the frick is worth. What's wrong with Negroes? Well, you're going to take something that people be touching and falling out. We got videos showing cops and stuff falling out. I don't even know why. Honey, fentanyl is not, I don't even know. They don't even know what that is. At least
what is it?
I don't even know what, I'm a nurse. I don't even know what the heck it is. It is a synthetic thing that, why would you even take that? Because it's not even what I give in the hospital. It's something else. Because fentanyl don't work on patients in the hospital. Whatever they're giving people, that's for daggone elephants. That must be an elephant tranquilizer. It ain't no fentanyl. I don't know what it is. Because at least you know heroin. What's that? Poppies. Okay. I know I don't grow poppies, but you know that it comes from poppies, so-called. Mm-hmm. Cocaine, well, you know, the cocaine, comes from the cocoa or whatever. I don't grow that either, but you can really relate to what it comes from, right? But fentanyl, what the hell? What are you doing? Somebody is cooking up something that they're calling fentanyl, but doesn't act like any fentanyl I've ever given. But yet, the Negro, the African American, thinks that's okay? Think you gonna try that?
So you saying you brought up since Billie Holiday, and that was what, the 30s and 40s, and
Right.
here we are, damn near 100 years later.
Right.
We're not getting it.
Nope. We're not getting it. We're sadly not getting it. I mean, we've lost a lot of people. We watched a lot of people destroy their lives through various mechanisms of other stuff, and we're not getting it. And we don't want to because why? I want to do what I want to do. I want to.
You right.
I want to try it. I want to do this. And you know what? This is the crazy thing, y'all. They reintroduced Billie Holiday to us via that movie that R&B or that neo soul singer did, and they had her stripped down naked. She's a very beautiful girl, and they had her. They showed the CIA agent shooting up. So they really try to get you Negroes into shooting up some heroin. They bring back these images to bring our people back into doing certain things. And then us with our crazy selves, we bring our children to the theater and have them watch it. Or we be in the house watching it and have our kids in the room. You see? You watch it and it's like, and your kids watching it saying, man, it's my first time. Your little boys in there might be his first girl to eat and it does something to him because he's like, she's so beautiful. And maybe that's his first little arousal. And then all of a sudden, along with his arousal to the actress, he's aroused to the heroine subconsciously. Same thing with your little girl. See, we don't know what we're doing to ourselves, but they have used this time profiting and sitting back and chilling while we toil and fight. They've been studying us intently, continuously. And these things are done on purpose. They know how many people it can impact, and it's worth it. It's worth it. They know how many people are dragged down by each addicted person that they catch. They know they've had the numbers all figured out. And you just acting like I didn't live my life. You being manipulated. You're not just living your life, you're being manipulated.
So, but what I can understand, you're talking Billie Holiday. What's that? The 1940s?
Right.
We're in the middle of the 2020s.
Mm-hmm.
That's 80 years. And we still not getting it.
But they use the same stuff over. Like I said, they just came out with another Billie Holiday movie, right? And they've redone it more sexually, more erotically than, because Diana Ross, you know. But this has been done to really attract the youth. And so even though like we don't learn anything, then they bring it out to us to reintroduce that stuff. And that's just like they're doing like what is that movie about the drug house? What was that one? You know, with uh oh God. About that whole like they were cooking crack cocaine and Harlem or whatever. What was that movie, child? Help me, dog.
New Jack City?
New Jack City. They got New Jack City plays out. They rehashing New Jack City. Why? So to make it sexy for you to be a crack dealer or you know what I mean? That's a crack user, right? They want because it's something they want to make it something fly for these people, this generation that didn't go through the crack epidemic. They don't know. Because this is really sad. We got the data and now they're trying to hide information, right? I mean, the internet is it's being scraped bare A lot of things you want to look for, you can't even find anymore. So so pretty soon, it's only going to be what they want your kids, and what you and your kids to see, and your grandkids. It's getting to that. It's almost right. It's almost there.
Right. Yeah, she's absolutely right. And another thing about that that makes what she's saying so right, remember, like I said in the beginning, you can do stuff, your body does stuff that you're not even aware of. That's you.
Right.
That's you. But you believe you're some character that somebody wrote up about. That's why you call yourself black. You're not black, but you will call yourself that. This is how simple it is and
Mm,
how we're not getting it. They'll write a story about you in a book. You will somehow say that's you and will live your life like that. This
mhm.
is how the African American, black, Negro, colored, that's how they roll.
Right. Right.
So I'm just saying, the things that we're talking about tonight, all the things they put in front of you is not to help you at all. It's to keep you going from what the heroin addict to being a heroin addict in the 1940s to being a heroin addict in the 2020s. That's what all this media, all they tell you to read. Speaking of new things that are going on, what's going on down there with Florida in their school systems? A lot of people's been hitting me about that. What is that about?
Well, first of all, it's not just happening in Florida. I think people quiet as a cat. I think that's also a distraction because it's happening. They may be talking about it in Florida, but they doing it in your school system, but you just don't know because we're being distracted by all the stuff that they're saying and talking about in Florida. Like, it's kind of crazy that what we have is a whole bunch of immigrants that are really trying to dictate what we talk about as far as history or race. Neither one of those things are appropriate for an immigrant to be talking about in this country at all. Like, no, but to see this, our African American leaders never say that to these people. And then even daggone the one brother, what's his name that we don't like, Lemon, he tried to correct that racist Southeast Asian that was talking about what the black people are this or what and he was like, you don't get to say that. And they fired what's his name? Lemon, what's his name? I forget his first name. But anyway,
On Lemon?
Don Lemon, they fired him. Okay. So, and that's fine. He needed to be fired a long time ago for other reasons. However, the first time he stood up, well, that's how much they control their butts. But the reality is they got these daggone immigrants, they granted them these positions of dictating to the daggone African American. And like most African Americans, the majority, all of them say nothing. They don't say nothing. They let these people speak for us. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. We don't need black history. Motherfucker, aren't you a Cuban? Get the what? How dare you? As racist as you are, coming from the way that you ran Cuba when your people were there, the racial lines you had was like an apartheid. And then you're gonna come to daggone Miami and try to make it the same way. And then you're gonna tell the indigenous people how they should be, what we should be talking about. This is not your conversation. The only people that get to talk about what is talked about historically that impacts the indigenous people are those people, period. You don't get to say, and you're not white enough to be in the position of the white man. either. And they're in no position to say anything anymore either. So I don't understand how they're just using these people. These people are used. And then we don't have anybody who's standing up and saying anything. And then let the truth be told. Now, if you are just me or you or Carrie or whatever, if we say something, they're gonna block that out of media. You're never gonna know it anyway. If we communicate with them, they're not gonna let it be known. But what I urge everybody to do is like send them a message, email them, text them, go on their social media, let them know. Because if you don't, nobody's checking these.
Nobody will.
Nobody will. Even if you go, because there's a chick in there going Virginia talking about that crap. She's a damn Southeast Asian. And I'm like, how dare you? Send them a message. Tell them you're not allowed to speak on something that you cannot understand. And by you going on the television and reading some blatantly racist book saying the book says something like the white men are evil. Who's going to have that in your school? Come on
Right.
now. That's not even a real example. That what she's doing is fanning the flames of hatred by even putting that out there as if critical race theory is about somebody hating on white folks. No, it has nothing to do with that. But you want to make it that? Bitch, you need to be deported immediately. Wherever you came from, you need to go back immediately.
And this is the same attitude that Lisa's expressing that we should all have, because you can't go to Southeast Asia and tell those people shit.
You can't
They
go
can,
on Cuba and tell people shit.
right. But anybody can come here and tell you anything. And guess what you do when they tell you that? You swallow every drop.
No, they agree.
Yeah.
They agree because this is what the Negro, the African American does. They're like, oh, that's a horrible book. Oh, critical race theory. Oh no, we don't need that. Oh, that we don't want to say that about white people. Of course you don't want to say that about white people. But you dumb because this dumb heifer is reading a book that is completely outlandish. Nobody would read that book. You think a teacher's gonna really teach that thing? She gonna read that in the classroom of kids? You think that's acceptable for anybody? That's not. But see, you're using that as example of what it is, and it's a false example. And you're a liar and a fake and a fraud, and you're going unchecked. And see, this is the thing. The media is so freaking controlled. Do you get another side to it? That's the story, y'all. There's nobody in there. They're not even trying to find somebody that says, "Well, this is ludicrous what she's doing." See, remember, a lot of people don't even remember. They're not even old enough to know. We had actual news reporters, like they actually kind of sort of looked to do the truth, right? Geraldo and used to be honest. Now he's an asshole. You know what I mean? There were actual people used to actually report the news. Watergate wouldn't have happened if there were not people seeking to actually investigate the truth or whatever is out there. But that doesn't exist anymore. Now everything is art. It's all scripted and it's artificial. That's all it is. So when they put that story out about this person with the critical CRT and they want to call white people evil, that's the only story that plays. That's it. And if you could call a station and say, well, wait a minute, I want to talk about critical race theory, the only way you could get them is probably come on there and act like you're against it, and then switch the script when you get on camera. That's the only way you could probably get media coverage on it, because they're not going to even put a story on that is going to be counter what they're trying to put out there. Trust and believe.
At all.
The politicians that are totally against CRT, we're not going to hear about them. We're not going to know that they even exist. All we keep hearing about is him. Why? Because that's all they want us to hear about. Because they want everyone to believe that and to follow suit. You
What
don't
what are what are some what are some of the other current events that are going on that we should be aware of, that are being slipped by us, that we are being made to believe?
hello. Oh, so let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Uni. Hey, again to Copper Colored Life and Emmanuel. Um, what are some of the other things in the media? Well, we talked about. We talked about Kylie Russell, and I really feel like either that was extremely fake and put out there just to distract us from some serious things that were being done to us or that are happening now, right in the legislature right now that we're missing out on or something. But it's definitely, these things are not real. We talked about, we just finished talking about the CRT. We also there's a story about reparations, about immigrants should be included as far as receiving reparations, because it's not a slavery thing. It's about discrimination, and all people of color experience that.
Right, but who's the hit back on that? Who who who's debating these people? Because it seemed that you would go back to your country or origins and sue them for reparations.
Well, you see, like I said, this we just got this one way media right now.
One
There's
way media.
there's no like two, three, four, fives of the story. It's not even, it's one dimensional, it's one way media, that's it. There's not fifth dimension, fourth dimension. There's not any dimensions to the information we're getting. It's one dimensional. So we're only going to get one story. We're only going to get one viewpoint. So with the reparations, they're using everything to say that everyone else should get them besides the African American. The African American, or the ADOS, or the, what do they call themselves? Foundationals, whatever the heck, or what else? What else they call themselves? Freedmen. They call themselves everything. They say that it's all on slavery bloodline. But see, that's dumb. Because as soon as YT wants to start saying that they are the slaves, because for some reason they keep concealing it, but once they start actually admitting it, that whole argument is going to go way out the window, because they got all kinds of records of their slavery that they don't teach you about.
And I think that's a problem, that we don't even search for it. We just believe, like you say, the one way media. Whatever somebody says, we stick with that and
Mm-hmm.
don't search for nothing else. We don't continue to learn.
Right.
Somebody says something that we've never heard before, and we like a little puppy, and we never get off of what they said. We never think about what they say. We just swallow it. Do you think that's a problem?
I think it's a problem, because just like when they started with the whole cloning of the sheep and they showed just a sheep. I mean, they didn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't researched it deeply, but I didn't see no, like, where's the embryo of the sheep? Yeah, did they grow it? I mean, they can do that. I mean, if you can, I believe that if you start from some cells, you might be able to, but you still need another set of cells, because even if you have one person's DNA, it's still not going to be enough to make a whole nother being, right? So, I mean, it's really not a clone, then technically, is it? So it's like, that's the whole thing. It's like the science of it doesn't really work. Mentally, it doesn't work out. So really, in order to make a clone, it's really not a clone. So even if you make a sheep out of like a couple some cells of one sheep, you probably need another sheep to go along with those cells to make another. So I don't know, but basically, I haven't seen video footage, step by step pictures, growth of the tissues, growth of it to an amoeba, past them being an amoeba, going into a zygote, going into a daggone, an embryo. Like we don't see all that. Where's all that? Okay, so why do you believe it if you don't have all that evidence? You ain't seen all that. I don't know why. Because they say so. Okay, well they also say a lot of things that aren't true. So why are you choosing to believe this one? Because you know what? I think we have a desire to believe in magical things. We have a fixation and an attraction to believe in what is magical. Why we think those particular folks are magical, I have no earthly idea. But I think we need to switch our magical belief system from them back where it belongs and to us. Because if anybody has the power to manifest majestic, magical things, it's us.
Check on that. Check on that. So at least we're coming up to the top of the hour.
Anything
Is
else
that?
that you want to mention?
Oh no. I mean, you hit it. I just wanted to, put it out there. What you see is not what you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
These people are making all kind of pictures and, like she said, art, artificial. Does the artificial, does that art also play into the artificial intelligence? And as you can see, it does.
Oh, it really does. And they take that, and I'm sorry, but the African American takes that to a level that I just don't understand. Like, okay, do we have computers that can, answer questions, do things, look up things? Yeah, we got we got in our phones, we got answers to questions. We can do different things in our houses. We got all kinds of little that is intelligence, right? Or a form of artificial intelligence where they can understand what you say and retrieve what you want, the information you want. Um, like I said, when I went through a drive-through and I was in there with my cousin was on the phone with me, and I didn't know that it was a machine that was taking my order. And so I was like getting a fish sandwich, and then I was like, they added something else to it, and I was like, no, 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 like take that off. And then I was like, dang, so I said, no, take that off and da 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 da. And I said, then read it back to me. And she read it back to me, and I was like, whoa. And my cousin was true. He was like, dang, Nelly, she did that. She calculated right. She took it off. I was like, yeah, man, cuz he's like, so did they have an automated thing for you to pay? I said, well, shit, they actually didn't. They had a couple of brothers working in there, and they hadn't automated the payment, but that could easily be done. But I was just like, we were tripping over the accuracy of it and the fact that there was one less person working because of it. Um, that's that's not high tech, y'all. I mean, it's good that you can, it can read your words, because you got to think about it. In the 80s, and when we learned how to daggone, when programming was new and we were learning how to input information and it reads your codes and all that kind of stuff, I was thinking about being computer science, but my kids laugh about it, but in a way, like in the early 80s, I was kind of thinking, well, I don't know if this thing's gonna take off or take hold like they think it is. You know what I mean? Like that's how damn. I mean, I don't know. It sounds crazy right now, right? But I'm just saying. But I don't know if I want to major in that. But anyway, basically, um, that kind of reading your words and reading your language and stuff, that's very basic to computing and stuff like that. So it's not like that's so woo, it's not otherworldly. Okay, it's not on next level stuff. Okay, so I don't understand why I think we give AI, and then we see these computers that look human, and we don't even know if we're really looking at an actual computer that looks like that. We don't know if we're looking at something that is actually computer generated, because I've not seen one of these computers that look like humans and stuff and think it's the I've not seen it in person, right? Have you? Has anybody? I don't know anybody who has.
No, I think just everything is just marketed to us. We wouldn't know what nothing is if it wasn't marketed to us.
Now I think that I mean, because when we do see these, like, hey, we see these. I've seen these videos where they show these like artificial intelligence, like little look like robots and stuff, and they look like they are so human like. But then part of that can be like just manipulation of the video, right? So where can you find, until you see AI in your mall, if malls still exist, or face to face somewhere at a conference or something? I don't think I would even I wouldn't believe it until I saw it actually, like, oh yeah, these things they look like humans and they really do everything. You know what I mean? Until I had first person confirmation for somebody that works in computers, IT, whatever, one of my family members or whoever, a friend, I would not I ain't gonna go so far as believing none of that, because I feel like they put things on video and we believe it because we see it on video.
That's it. That's the programming. And that's what I'm saying. You have no thoughts, you have nothing coming across your mind. You're not thinking of anything. And I think that's one of the things that we've given up. We don't do none of that. The majority. I'm not saying everybody's like that, of course not. But the
Right.
majority of people, they're just with whatever they're shown. They're going to do whatever they're shown. And
Yeah.
so, so here's a quick example. I was talking to this brother, and he just wanted to argue because he didn't get what I was saying. I was like, no, man, you have the ability to do all kind of things with just who you are as a person. I was just going down about how his body works and everything works that he doesn't really know about. All he knows is how to put on a baseball cap. And and he got pissed off. But I'm like, dude, really? You don't understand how the bile breaks down your food. You don't know that. You have things about you that are off the hook.
Body's amazing, man.
And he didn't get what I was saying. He was acting like I was trying to disrespect him. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm seeing with the Carly, whatever the girl name is, all that stuff is to keep you away from that part of yourself. That's
Right.
how I see it.
And I also believe that a lot of these things are public humiliation. A lot of these things are shaming things, because we are the only people, the indigenous people, that actually feel shame as a group. Like, if one person does something, we feel it like it's us. You know what I
Right.
mean? What YT does not do that. They don't sit up there and be like, "Oh, look at that toothless crack meth head, boy, I'm so ashamed." No, they don't get that. They don't do that. But we take it on our own shoulders as a rep as damaging to our reputation, which is really stupid, because who do we care about having a rep for? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Who are we trying to prove something to? And why? Why are we trying? Who? Why? Who we got
Right.
to prove anything to anybody? We got all kinds of people in our daggone community, and we always have. But having a joker or having an idiot or having a damn criminal does not mean we're all that. But
Right.
yet we take on this thing like a daggone chain around our necks, like, oh, it's all of us. We're all Carly. We're all liars. She made us all look bad. They know this.
Right.
It's like a ritual. It's a public shaming. Oh, y'all be lying and faking all this. And that's why I don't believe it. That's why I don't believe none of it. Because I think it was done to as a public shaming to make, and you know what it does? You know what public shaming, you feel that below like below your, like in the heart of your chakra, right?
Right.
You feel that. When you start to feel public shaming, it takes your vibration down. It really does. It
It's
gets you down to the root. It screws you up. Subconsciously, you don't know how it's impacting your body and your mind. These public shamings. So we saw they first had there going Will Smith and the slapping, and now he's a whole homosexual and she's a daggone some kind of demonic child molester, and they got all kinds of stuff going on. But all of it is to keep us so shamed. Oh, I'm so shamed. I'm so shamed. And then you just shriek down. You're not able to fight. You're not able to be strong. You're not able to stand up. You're not able to daggone think strategically. You're not able to litigate. You ain't worthy. Because you're so shamed and you're so, oh, let me just have my head down in shame. I'm just a loser. No, that's what this is for. That's what it's for. And then meanwhile, we thinking they cloning people and doing all kinds of magical stuff. Oh, they're doing magical stuff. And we're going around faking things. Okay, really? Really?
your
Nah.
folks, baby.
Nah, we got sisters creating proton therapy, and they got all kinds of hospitals being built around that daggone discovery by a young sister. They want you to think you ain't nothing but a fraud going around, jumping out of Mercedes, leaving your damn iPods in there, leaving your daggone iPhone, and leaving your daggone iWatch in there with some damn Cheez-Its to go run around and fake because of a boyfriend who's slept with a stripper. Really?
What? That's what it's about.
She did it because of her boyfriend slept with a stripper. She was trying to get his attention. That's what the so-called story is about.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't follow it.
Yeah, you.
Wow.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. I want you to make sure that you join African Americans Ain't African, the website, because that's where you're gonna find all the good downloads from the indigenous one. I hope you're looking for his TikToks because he is TikTok in it, and he's got some really good, profound things that he's sharing on his TikTok as well. And you know, stay sharp and stay critical.
Stay critical. Don't let anybody just tell you anything and you go for it, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be lying to you to get you in some kind of mind trick. So be aware of that. So we want to say good evening to Lisa. Good evening to the audience. Check us out on AfricanAmericans.com. And we'll see you guys real soon, because we remember Lisa said she wanted to say something. She was going to talk about it later on in the week. So we're going to make sure that we pass this information on to you guys. Thank you guys, and you have a good night. Peace.